Okay. Dirty Dancing stars Patrick Swayze as some guy with very Patrick Swayze looking hair, and Jennifer Grey as a girl who also has kind of Patrick Swayze looking hair, but much longer because she's a female. Not much longer though, because this was probably, I think, 1987, and Swayze's hair was in full Swayze mode at this point. Um, Now, admittedly, I don't remember very much about this movie, and going to kind of piece it together from the bits I do remember. Now, Patrick Swayze is a bad. It takes place in the 50s when there was no Dirty Dancing. All the dancing back then was clean, and they wanted they wanted their dancing to. I don't know if their shoes were dirty, getting dirt on the floor, or if it was because they were like pelvic grinding or something. I mean, the 50s were a totally different time than it is now, because now they do that dance where like the girl puts her feet on your shoulder and she like smashes her ass in your face. That is probably actually dirty because you're gonna end up with like shit on your face and nose. Um, but back in the 50s, dirty dancing just meant, you were wearing sneakers instead of like dress shoes or something. But Patrick Swayze's like, he's a bad boy. You could tell because he's got a black shirt on and super tight jeans, and like I said, Swayze mode hair. Um, and Jennifer Grey is a good girl from the like rich part of town or something, because she's got on a white dress. That's how you know she's good. She's got on a white dress, and I don't know, in this town, they all like to dance. This is what the kids do. They go dancing, but their dancing is very demure, and they stand apart from each other, and they do it like ballroom dancing or something, like it's a fucking coming out ball in like the South. Maybe the movie takes place in Louisiana. I think it takes place in a swamp or something. I'm gonna say it takes place in a Louisiana swamp, not in the actual swamp, but like in like this like debutante town in Louisiana. Is that a thing? A debutante town? It takes place in some plantation fucking yeah. Like, okay, so Jennifer Grey is the great granddaughter of a plantation owner, um, and Patrick Swayze is a bad boy, and they like to do their dancing, like adult dancing, dirty dancing in a shack by a swamp. And he meets her one day on like Main Street, and she's intrigued by him because she's like, whoa, check out the bulge in this dude's pants. Because fucking all them rich ass white guys, all they got little fucking tiny dicks. And Patrick Swayze's like, I ain't got money, so check out this meat. Um, so he brings her down to the swamp house, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. He brings her to the swamp house, and he's like, they play some rock and roll or something. Okay, this is like rock and roll is brand new. No one's ever heard it, and so she like is like flabbergasted. She's like, "What are these teenagers doing? Oh my God, I've lived such a weird, sheltered life. I wish some bad boy would come and take me away and let me live a real life or something." Uh, so he does that, and he like kind of grinds on her, and she's loving it. And they go, and he drops her back off at home, and I really have no idea what happens in this movie. Her dad is like, what the hell? Oh, he drops her off and is like off the back of his motorcycle, and her dad's like, what the hell is that? Were you listening to black music? And she's like, oh, daddy, it's nothing like that. He's a nice boy from down the street. He's like, oh, I know the Swayze family. They're not nice boys. They're bad boys or something. Yeah, and so the dad is all like up in arms and shit, and he's like, look, you're gonna date fucking, Chad down at the country club. He wears khakis, and you can trust everything he says. He's probably gonna date rape you, but this is all part of the courting when you're rich. So, all right. So She defies her dad though. She's like, look, I don't like Chad and his tiny little fucking pinky dick. I want Patrick Swayze in the cucumber in his like acid wash jeans. So she continues going to the swamp, and it turns out like she's good, really good at dirty dancing. She was good at clean dancing. She was like a raised dancer, like a ballerina or some crap. But she really comes into her own when she starts dirty dancing. the So like I guess half the movie is just them like grinding on each other. Like I don't think it's a musical. But there's a lot of music in it. It's not like they like bust out in the song and dance. Like but there's definitely songs. So, um, I guess her dad fucking busts up he like gets in touch with the sheriff or something, and he busts up the swamp dance house and gets everybody arrested. All the kids are like, "Fuck, we got nowhere to, you know, have fake sex on each other while listening to, I don't know, Chuck Berry or something." And Patrick Swayze's like, look, I can't deal with this bullshit. I'm gonna go with fucking Peggy Sue. She puts out, and I don't have to fucking deal with your fucking dumbass dickhead dad. You go have fun with Chad. I'm gonna go over here and look all fucking Swayze and shit. So she's all heartbroken. She goes with Chad. They're at some like this is now okay. This is the end of the movie now. They're at some dance. This is probably the only part that I actually remember. They're at some dance, and you know what? And even then, I don't even really remember it. But there's this part. They're at some dance. Patrick Swayze shows up. She's dancing with Chad, and they're all like prim and proper and crap. And then Patrick Swayze shows up, and he's all fucking oiled up, and he's just like, "It's time to get fucking Swayze." And he like, the band that was playing was just like, "Oh shit, it's time to rock." So they play that like "Had the Time of Your Life" song, and they're dancing together. And at some point, he like picks her up, like, and she's like kind of like flying in the air, and he's holding her, and that is literally the only part of this whole stupid movie I remember. But that moment, it's in itself is symbolic of her letting go of and flying through, not actually literally flying, but her spirits are soaring through air, and she's fucking free. And her dad's like, what is the meaning of this? And she's like, go eat a cock, old man, I'm going with Swayze. And they get on his motorcycle and they drive to Tijuana. They fucking live in a casa on the ocean and fish salmon. And that's how the movie ends. And everybody in it learned a little bit about themselves along the way. Thank you.